from clickorlando.com and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 5 p.m. Now at 5, attorneys for a man on death row for nearly 5 decades now say they have evidence that he's innocent. Plus the big investment one community is getting to fight homelessness. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Matt Austin.
And I'm Lisa Bell. Florida's historic freeze is making headlines all over the world after areas in the Panhandle reported more than 8 inches of snow.
And depending on who you talk to, it has been either a joy or an absolute nightmare. Crews with FDOT spent the day clearing snow and ice from Interstate 10. Some roads and airports across the South remain shut down tonight, causing nationwide delays. Many, though, having some fun with the rare winter weather, making snowballs and some snow angels as well. The latest totals from the National Weather Service show 8.9 inches of snow fell in Pensacola, Florida. The previous record in that area, 4 inches.
Farther north, Gulf states like Louisiana, Texas, and Alabama were hit even worse by this system. Parts of New Orleans were buried under 10 inches, more than 3 times the city's previous snowfall record. And here in Central Florida, we've certainly had some frigid nights before a little bit of a warm-up that's headed our way.
Yeah, meteorologist Julie Broughton joins us now for your pinpoint accurate forecast.
We are going to keep those cold temperatures around at least for the next couple of days. In fact, some of us right now are sitting in the 30s, and we'll keep some clouds around tonight. And do expect maybe a little bit of rain for your morning drive tomorrow. And because we're talking about cold conditions, windy conditions, and some rain, we are designating tomorrow an inconvenient weather day. So just keep that in mind as you're making your plans for tomorrow. And then when you wake up tomorrow, most of us will feel like we're in the 30s. Some of us will even be feeling like the 20s. This is pretty much what it's looked like throughout the entire day today for all of us. This is our launch credit union camera at Port Canaveral. Notice the gray skies, a little bit of mist out there. It is breezy, 49 degrees right now in Brevard County. And with those winds, it feels a little bit cooler than that area wide. Now, some of you are in the 30s. Temperatures are continuing to drop. So we're talking about 39 in DeLand, 39 degrees right now in Ocala, and it is 36 up in Gainesville, feeling like the 20s right now in Leesburg. We'll talk more about your hour-by-hour forecast and when we'll see the coldest air of the season arriving coming up.
Julie, thank you. If your home isn't ready or can't deal with this cold weather, there are resources for you. Seminole County neighbors can now apply for Meals on Wheels, etc.'s Weatherization Assistance Program. Now, that's a big name, but the service aims to help lower electric bills for seniors and low-income households by improving the home's energy efficiency. Basically, somebody will come to the house, look for ways to keep heat indoors, driving down your energy bill and making up to $8,000 in improvements, and they do it all for free.
Even though that we're able to put so much money into these homes, a lot of people don't know it exists.
Right.
And so we need clients. We need people that want us to come in and bring in their contractors and do what they need to do to get their power bill down. That not only gets your power bill down, but also raises the value of your home at the same time. So it's a wonderful win-win for our clients.
Now, keep in mind, as you can imagine, there are certain qualifications that have to be met. We put more info and a link to apply in this article on clickorlando.com.
A big concern whenever the weather worsens are people experiencing homelessness. 13 homeless organizations in Brevard County are receiving nearly $1.5 million from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to help the community's homeless population.
Like a brand new apartment complex in Cocoa, Orchid Lake just opened in November. News 6's James Sparvero is talking to management about getting results for that community. Thank you, James. Well, almost 50 years after a man was sent to death row for murdering 4 people, his defense attorneys think they have new DNA evidence that will exonerate their client.
Tommy Ziegler was convicted of murdering his wife and 3 others at his furniture store in Winter Garden back in 1976. But Ziegler says he did not do it. And throughout the years, Ziegler and his attorneys have made attempts to prove his innocence. Back in 2023, News 6 investigator Mike DeForest reported on a judge granting Ziegler permission to test DNA evidence at his own expense. News 6 was also in the courtroom in 2023 when a judge asked for a list of all evidence that needed DNA testing. Now News 6's Emily McLeod joins us live in studio with the latest updates on that evidence. Emily?
This case, there's a lot of history to it. Ziegler and his attorneys have spent decades trying to prove his innocence. Over the last couple of days, Ziegler's attorneys have filed hundreds of pages of documents, including the motion that plainly says the DNA evidence makes it clear that Ziegler didn't kill his wife and family members. So like we said, we reached out to the state attorney's office for comment on these new developments just to see if they had anything to say. It is still an active case, but can you all believe, 50 years later, and this is still an active case.
Yeah,
That's
and
remarkable.
he's had to pay for his own DNA sample to be able to take that.
Yep, it was at his own expense, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this shakes out in the coming weeks, months. We don't know how long, so we'll see.
Fascinating stuff. Emily, thank you.
Well, Brevard County neighbors will soon be able to vote on who's going to represent them next in Tallahassee. A special election will be held on June 10th with a special primary election on April 1st for the state Senate's 19th district. This election will replace the district's current representative, Randy Fine. He's resigning at the end of March. Fine is giving up his seat to run for the 6th congressional district, which was held by Representative Mike Waltz. Waltz resigned on Monday ahead of President Trump's inauguration to serve as his national security advisor. Waltz did weigh in on the race for his old job, throwing his support behind Fine, saying he'll deliver results for the region, state, and country. Early voting in the primary race for Waltz's seat runs through Saturday. Fine is running against Aaron Baker and Asan Jorder on the Republican ticket, while George Salmont and Josh Wheel are running as Democrats. If you live in the Volusia County part of the district, polls are going to be open 8 to 5 every day. Polls for the district in Flagler, Lake, and Marion, they're open from 10 to 6. So a little bit of a curveball there. Only registered Republicans and Democrats are able to vote in a special primary.
A new way of finding and photographing fingerprints. It used to be that CSI had to try and find fingerprints in the dark. Now new tech is shedding light on the problem. We're talking UV light. What this is and how it is getting results protecting our community in one local county. That's coming up ahead at 5. You're watching News 6 at 5, getting results. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Launch Credit Union. Go beyond.
Well, tonight, a game changer in Flagler County at the Sheriff's Office for their CSI team. Their new fingerprint machine can pick up prints in a fraction of the time and record a 4K image to send around the state and national databases to catch more bad guys faster.
News 6 anchor Eric Von Anken is seeing how this works inside the crime lab at the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. Some high-tech stuff.
So much smarter than the old way where they dust everywhere. Yeah.
And by the way, Sheriff Staley was proud to tell us he paid for the $135,000 machine using cash from drug seizures.
Thank you, drug dealers, for paying for that. All right, let's get you over to our meteorologist, Julie Broughton. So it is cold, snowy in North Florida, but that didn't make it to us, right?
Now, we had for about 15 minutes when we looked at some of the hourly observations in Ocala. They did see a little bit of a wintry mix for a few minutes this morning, but nothing that accumulated. But we are certainly still seeing some very cold, blustery weather hanging around tonight. Now, we are going to be tracking some more areas of rain overnight, so do expect we could see some light rain for the morning drive tomorrow. So another morning where we may see some slick roads. Now, Thursday, it will be an inconvenient weather day. We're keeping cold conditions around. Most of us, once again, will not get out of the 40s, and we'll see some periods of rain. And then this weekend, we're talking about some of the coldest air of the season potentially for Saturday morning. Here's what we're expecting for lows when you wake up on Saturday. 36 in Orlando, Ocala, 27 Saturday morning, 29 in the Villages, and 32 Saturday morning in Palm Coast. Here's what it looks like outside for us right now. We are talking about misty, foggy conditions on our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera. Only sitting at 45 degrees right now. Winds are coming in out of the north, and some of us are already dropping into the 30s. It is 37 in the Villages, 38 in Claremont, and you are at 39 in DeLand. You factor in those winds. Here's how it feels. At one point a few minutes ago, we were looking at 29-degree wind chill readings in Leesburg. Right now, it feels like 31 for you, and it feels like 32 in Palm Coast. So your hour-by-hour forecast obviously will vary depending where you are. In Orlando, we're generally talking about temperatures hovering in the low 40s through the evening hours. This is Oreo. Oreo lives in the Villages and looks like he or she is having a great life up there, just relaxing on his chair. Head to clickorlando.com/pins to share your pet photos with us. Here is the southeastern United States. All the snow that we saw moving through the panhandle and the wintry weather, that is wrapped up. Drier air has been building in, but not enough dry air to clear our skies. Here's a look at the clouds and rain forecast. We saw that shot from our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Together camera showing a lot of cloud cover and mist hanging around. Now through the evening, we'll see a few isolated showers potentially riding up from our south. Then through the day tomorrow, we're going to be watching for an area of low pressure to develop off our east coast. As that happens, that is going to keep our winds blustery. It's going to keep our rain chances around 40% or so. That's why we are designating it an inconvenient weather day. And we are looking again at some showers on and off throughout the day tomorrow. But again, the big story for the next couple of days will be just how chilly it is. Now, here's your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast brought to you by Napleton Chrysler Jeep Dodge.
Overnight tonight in Ocala, you fall to 35, 42 for your low in Orlando, and 49 overnight in Mico. Next 7 days showing most of us don't get out of the 40s tomorrow with a 40% chance of showers. Friday morning, we start out at 39, Saturday morning, 36. But by the end of the weekend, we're looking at temperatures creeping back into the normal range with a high of 70 on Sunday. And then we should be in the low 70s for highs as we head into next week.
All right, things are getting better. They're improving. Julie, thank you. You can get Pinpoint weather wherever you live on our free Pinpoint weather app. Just search WKMG in your app store.
After the break, which local building ranks among the biggest in the world?
And the new concerns doctors have about the implications some common medicines might have down the road. You're watching News 6 at 5. Getting results for you tonight. Yeah, it's not a banner day for us around here, but it's okay. We'll get through it. It'll be sunny again. We'll be right back.
No matter what's happening where you live, trust Sky 6 to get you the bigger picture. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
Whoa, what is happening?
We're packing up our newscast and taking it on the road. So let's go.
Every month, we're broadcasting from a different community.
Want us to come to your neighborhood?
Go to clickorlando.com/hitstheroad and tell us where to go next.
Want News 6 straight to your inbox? Sign up for your favorite newsletter at clickorlando.com/newsletter. Sign up for In the Loop Theme Park Scoops, Setting the Stage, and Florida Foodie, just to name a few. Sponsored by the Florida Lottery.
In your health headlines tonight, a new report shows more than 39 million people could be killed by infections in the next 25 years because they're growing more resistant to antibiotics.
Antibiotic resistance is what happens when a bacteria changes in such a way that the antibiotics we use to fight these infections are either not effective or less effective than they used to be.
Experts say they're already seeing the impacts of this, especially among adults over the age of 70, since our immune systems don't perform as well when we age. Diseases like diabetes, heart disease, or cancer complicate the situation as well. Well, you know the saying, everything is bigger in Texas. That is not the case when it comes to buildings.
No, the largest building this side of the Mississippi is actually right here in Central Florida. According to CNET's list of biggest buildings in the world, NASA's Vehicle Assembly Building, or VAB, at Kennedy Space Center is the 7th largest. And if you haven't seen it before, it is massive, standing at 525 feet tall.
Video does not do it justice, by the way.
It really doesn't. I mean, even when you're driving by, it's not until you get really up close to that thing. So it's 525 feet tall, nearly just as wide. And that isn't for just the tallest, it's overall volume. The building covers 8 acres. It's been around since 1966, assembling rockets for the Apollo missions and NASA's launches ever since then.
Yeah, that's 8 acres of building. You know, that's not the land surrounding it. That's just the actual building. Some of the best athletes in the U.S. gearing up to take the field in just over an hour. The road to the World Cup starting tonight in the City Beautiful. pays to be an insider.
It pays. Yeah, you just got to play. You got to play to win.
Yeah. What are you doing out there? Come on. Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 5:30.
Now at 5:30, jarring words on billboards across Central Florida. The conversations one group is trying to create. But first, our coverage of this cold stretch in Florida continues with the overwhelming need one local group is seeing over the past few days. Thankfully, it looks like the worst of the cold weather is now behind us. Glad you're with us. I'm Lisa Bell.
And I'm Matt Austin. You're watching News 6 at 5:30. Here in Central Florida, we only had to deal with the cold. All right, I say that loosely. It's very cold.
Yes.
But in other parts of the state, different story. This was a time lapse over the city of Milton. It's in Santa Rosa County, about halfway between Destin and Mobile, Alabama. That is not a place you expect to see a thick dusting of snow. Meteorologist Julie Broughton pinpointing just how much snow they got. Right now, Julie, it's definitely record-breaking. It looks like it.
Right. In Milton, they got more than 9 inches of snow, which is just crazy when you think about it, that all these areas still have snow on the ground. The snow has stopped falling. In fact, most of us have seen that rain move out, but look at the gray conditions left behind that. This is our Daytona Beach sky cam in Volusia County. Obviously, not a lot of people out on the beach right now because it is feeling pretty miserable. It feels like 36 degrees right now in Daytona Beach. Actual air temperature is at 44 degrees. You're sitting at 37 in the Villages, 39 in Ocala, and it is 44 right now if you are in Kissimmee. You factor in those winds, which are blustery coming in out of the north. It's feeling like 32 in the Villages, feels like 31 degrees right now in Leesburg. And if you are in Melbourne, it is feeling like the low 50s. Now, this is what we can expect when we wake up Saturday morning. So we will see a warm up this weekend, but not until later in the day on Sunday. We are talking about waking up to 27 in Ocala on Saturday. 29 could potentially be your low in the Villages Saturday morning, and we're looking at 36 in Orlando. So we could be talking about some of the coldest air of the season still yet to come, moving in by Saturday morning. But again, we do have a warm up on the way. We'll time all of this out for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Julie. Well, as cold temperatures grip Central Florida, One Winter Garden Ministry is stepping up to help those in need.
Matthew's Hope opened its doors last night to provide shelter for homeless men, women, and children, but the demand has pushed their resources and space to the limit.
News 6's Angie Casada shows us how they're turning to the community for help.
And aside from the cold, a concern for us here in Central Florida has been the rain that we've been getting lately.
Yeah, and if you're not ready for it, your car could lose traction with the road, and you can be on patrol. Pointers for what to do if it happens to you.
And you can hit the road and watch Hit the Road with Trooper Steve on patrol weekday mornings at 8 on the new 6 Plus streaming app for your smart TV or clickorlando.com.
Yeah, the worst thing you could do is slam on those brakes when you're hydroplaning. That will send you into a spin.
And we're just not used to dealing with weather like this. So, just good advice there from Trooper Steve. Powerful scenes over the weekend after 3 Israeli hostages were reunited with their families, handed over by Hamas as part of the ceasefire deal with Israel. Israel released 90 Palestinian prisoners in exchange for the 3 girls, each of them missing fingers. They were taken captive 470 days ago when Hamas terrorists crossed into Israel, killing 1,200 people and taking 250 more people prisoner. Another 30 Israeli hostages are expected to be exchanged for hundreds more Palestinians in the next 5 weeks, also as part of the ceasefire deal. More aid began to flow into Gaza, which has been decimated by Israel's military operation to root out Hamas and get those hostages home. Hamas says more than 40,000 Palestinians have been killed since the operation began.
Closer to home, we've reported extensively on anti-Semitism here in Central Florida over the past several years. In 2022, neo-Nazis demonstrating in Waterford Lakes were arrested after attacking a Jewish UCF student, and hateful words were projected onto buildings in downtown Orlando, as well as Daytona International Speedway. So tonight, a Jewish group is calling out the hate head-on in a couple of provocative billboards on one of Central Florida's busiest highways, They might have caught your attention, but that's exactly the point behind them.
They are putting surging anti-Semitism front and center to be seen by the 70 million people who visit us every year at America's #1 tourist destination. News 6 anchor Eric Von Enken tracked down the Jewish group behind these billboards.
Eric, thank you. And another form of targeting Jewish hate is happening at a local high school. An Edgewater High School student raised more than $30,000 to teach people about the Holocaust at high school. You can learn more about his motivation and what it means to a local Holocaust survivor during our 6:30 newscast, streaming on clickorlando.com and the News 6 Plus streaming app.
It's a great story. Raised $30,000 to bring that message to people there. Well, if you are fine with braving the elements, you can catch some of the best soccer players in the world right here in Central Florida tonight. After the break, we'll take you live outside to Interco Stadium as the U.S. begins their quest for next year's World Cup.
And later, the fundraiser Florida Snow is creating. It's all for a good cause. You're watching News 6 at 5:30, getting results for you tonight. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Good Greek Moving and Storage.
So I just flew back from D.C. yesterday where it was like pretty much Alaska, and my family is talking about how cold it is here. I'm like, this is the tropics. So
really,
it's always relative, you know, the cold. So it is cold here, but so many people have it so much worse than us, Julie.
Yeah, actually our highs today, it's the coldest high we've seen since Christmas of 2022. So, you know, it's all relative, but most of us didn't even get out of the 40s today. And as we head through the evening hours, we are going to be talking about some rain moving back in overnight. So for your morning drive tomorrow, you could be dealing with some slick roads once again. And we are designating tomorrow an inconvenient weather day. We are talking about a 40% chance of rain, cold temperatures, and windy conditions. So it really will just be another uncomfortable day. Then as we head into the weekend, we are looking at some of the coldest air of the season building in before we finally see a warm up toward the end of the weekend. Here's how we did today. Our morning low was 39 degrees and we only made it to a high of 47. Normals are 72 and 49, so we were way below that. And we even saw a few minutes of wintry precipitation this morning in Marion County. Nothing that accumulated, but you know, certainly one for the history books. Here's what it looks like for you right now as we take a live look outside in Brevard County. This is our Launch Credit Union camera where we are sitting at 49 degrees. You can see a gray sky. You can see those windy conditions. Visibility at times this afternoon has been reduced in some spots, but right now most of us are in good shape. And we are talking about 30s already in our northern counties, 37 in the Villages. It is 38 in Leesburg. Here's how it actually feels. We are talking about wind chill readings right now in some spots in the low 30s. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast obviously dependent upon exactly where you are, but generally if you're in the Orlando area, we're talking about low 40s. Now, I want you to check out Lulu rolling up in her pink car. Isn't she looking great? So she is highlighting Watson. I met Watson today on a shoot, so he was super cute. He's going to be in a story you'll see Friday. Head to clickorlando.com/pins to share your pet photos with us. Now, we are talking about cold weather staying in place as we head into the weekend, and that's the case across much of the U.S. thanks to that upper level system continuing to pull all that cold air down from Canada. This is what we can expect Saturday morning. We're talking about 27 for your low in Ocala and 29 Saturday morning in the Villages. We saw the rain ending pretty early today as some drier air moved in. Still, the clouds are hanging around, and that will be the case through the evening hours and much of the day tomorrow. Your clouds and rain forecast showing even by 11 o'clock, we could potentially see a little bit of light rain moving across our southern counties, lifting to the north. So do expect some light rain for your morning drive tomorrow. Then as we move into the day tomorrow, we're watching for an area of low pressure to develop off our coast. That will enhance the chance of rain and also really pick up the winds. That is why we are calling tomorrow an inconvenient weather day. No severe weather, but certainly just kind of an uncomfortable, annoying day. Now, here's your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Publix.
42 for our overnight low tonight in Orlando, and you go to 35 in Ocala. Here's how it looks for the next 7 days. Again, tomorrow, rain chances are at 40%. Most of us will not get out of the 40s. Then 30s in Orlando Friday and Saturday morning. That means we could see 20s northern interior spots. And then by Sunday into Monday, temperatures go back into the normal range.
All right, Julie, thank you. A couple of weeks ago, my husband bought tickets for a sporting event tonight. Apparently, thousands of soccer fans will be braving the weather to check out the U.S. men's national team. He will not be going tonight.
Okay, he's just giving them up. I think he won't be the only one.
Yeah.
The U.S. takes on Costa Rica at Inter-Co Stadium, downtown Orlando tonight at 7 o'clock. If you're interested, there's probably going to be some open seats.
Right?
Sports Director Jamie Say is here with us now.
Yeah, so guys, I've been in Florida way too long now because I'm not going out in that cold weather tonight, right? But my teammate, News 6 Sports' Nathaniel Rivas, is at Inter-Co right now, counting down to the U.S.'s friendly match with Costa Rica tonight. Nathaniel, how's it going outside?
Hey, Jamie, yeah, it's already cold out here. The wind's kind of picking up. It's a little bit misting for the rain, I would say. I got the News 6 pinpoint weather app right here. It says it's currently 41, feels like 34, about 11-mile-an-hour wind. So it's already cold out here. But the U.S. men's national team will be playing here tonight against Costa Rica. Colder than expected. I feel like that's severely an understatement. Much different than last June. Kickoff tonight is at 7 o'clock. According to the News 6 pinpoint weather app right here, it's going to be about 44 degrees. It's already cold, but soccer will be here tonight. Live at Inter-Co Stadium, Nathaniel Rivas, getting results. News 6, back to you.
He's stronger than me. He's stronger than me. But no, it'll be interesting to see the weather's impact on the crowd tonight. I still think there's going to be a healthy dose of fans. It's not every day. Yeah, because it's not every day that Team USA comes to play here. These are the best players that the U.S. has to offer. These are players that will compete for the World Cup in 2026. So it's kind of a once-in-a-year kind of chance to come see this team and root them on.
Just put extra clothes on. You'll be fine. Jamie, thank you very much. After the break, how you can remember this wacky winter weather stretch while helping others at the same time.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Freedom Health Medicare Advantage plans.
Don't miss your favorite News 6 podcast, Florida 4th Estate, Riff on This, Florida Foodie, and Real Talk Real Solutions. Listen when you want on clickorlando.com or download News 6 Plus to your smart TV to start listening now. Sponsored by Lexus of Orlando.
This Arctic blast throughout the South has a lot of people embracing their inner child. In a community just outside of New Orleans, nuns and a priest traded their Bibles for snowballs for a bit and had a good little snowball fight there.
Is that for real?
Yes.
Priests and nuns out there throwing
They can go outside and enjoy this weather as well.
Having a good time. I like it.
Right? So a lot of people are leaning into the fun of the winter weather, including a tongue-in-cheek way to help get results.
So check out these advertising firms selling I Survived the Florida Blizzard of 25 shirts. So here's the cool part. 100% of the proceeds from the shirt sales go to the Kearney Center, which helps people experiencing homelessness in Florida's Big Bend area.
That's
pretty
nice.
cool. Aside from the t-shirts, they're also selling long sleeves, hoodies. We could all use one of those right now, even baby onesies. We put a link on clickorlando.com to the website if you'd like to buy one of the shirts. I bet there will
nice looking shirts.
There will be some blizzard babies born during the blizzards.
Probably so.
You know,
now
it'd
that
be
you
perfect
mention
for
it.
that onesie.
Yeah. Justin Warmouth is here now with what we are working on for News 6 at 6.
Yeah, Matt and Lisa, pink, peach, lavender, or green all could be options when Palm Coast residents paint the outside of their house. The proposal that's causing a colorful debate in this coastal community. Plus, a family seeks justice after a deadly hit and run. The plea they're making to the public after a driver left the scene. You're watching News 6, getting results on a really chilly Wednesday. We'll be right back.